Welcome to webinar number 12 of the PACE Pilot Implementation Series. Firstly, a big thank you to each and every one of you for coming together every single time for every single webinar, learning and taking action. Thank you so much. Today is the grand finale webinar. With this webinar, we come to the conclusion of the PACE webinar videos, and from here on, I'm going to pave the way forward for each and every one of you as a team to work on the PACE system. So, let's quickly do a review before we dive into the objective of today's webinar. Okay? We started this entire webinar series with the objective to set you on a fast track to build a win-win-win business. A business which adds value to the customers so that the customer is happy and they win. A business which provides the desired career growth and financial growth to team members so that the team members are happy and they win. A business which gives the business growth and the time freedom to the business owner so they derive the value out of the journey of being an entrepreneur. And we created this through a system called as the PACE system. Now, in the PACE system, there are 5 stages, as you know, and you've been taking action as a team on each and every stage in a step-by-step manner. The first stage of the PACE system was aspiration creation. This is where, as a team, you defined where you want to go. Then we went into the second stage, which was the analysis stage, where you looked at what was stopping you from achieving those aspiration goals. You identified the root causes of what can come in the way. And then we went into the third stage of the PACE system, which was the awareness stage. This is where we looked at the 3 elements that influence performance acceleration. The elements of clarity, the elements of competence, and the elements of culture. Now, as a business, you have the magical formula. At any given point of time, if you're not able to produce the desired result, it is probably because clarity is missing, or competence is missing, or the culture is not aligned. So from here on, in any situation where you're not getting the desired result, you need to check and enhance these 3 elements of clarity, competence, and culture, which you learned in the awareness stage of the PACE system. From there, we went into the 4th stage, which was the action planning stage. This is where you learn the unique rules of action planning and the 4 quadrants of action planning so that you create a holistic plan to achieve that aspiration goal. And then finally, we came to the 5th stage of the PACE system, which was the achievement stage, where you learn the stop review meeting framework. And we've been looking at the different types of meetings under the stop review meeting framework. You looked at the strategic meeting, which you do once in 45 days for a full day. We looked at the tactical meeting, which you do once in 2 weeks for 2 hours. And in today's webinar, which is the conclusion webinar of the PACE system, we're going to be looking at the operational meeting. So you understand how the STOP system comes together and works for you to achieve that aspiration goal. So let's quickly review the key outcomes and objectives of the strategic and tactical meeting before we dive into the operational meeting. Remember, the frequency of the strategic meeting is once in 45 days and the duration is 1 full day. The 4 objectives of the strategic meeting are completion through a holistic review of the previous 45 days. Then the second objective is competence development, where every team member gives feedback to every other team member once in 45 days. The third objective was creation, where we create an aspiration goal, do the analysis, create an action plan for the 45-day period. And the 4th objective was celebration, where we acknowledge key contributors, highlight them, and recognize them. Then from there, you do the tactical meeting once in 2 weeks. So that's your meeting frequency. And you do the tactical meetings for 2 hours, not more than 2 hours. Now, while you do this once in 2 weeks for 2 hours, the primary objective here is accountability. Now let's review the 4 objectives of the tactical meeting. The first objective is again completion, where we do a review of the previous 14 days. The second objective is coaching, where we hold people accountable in an empowering manner, focusing on solutions and do it with respect so that they learn and they fail fast but fail differently each time. The third objective of the tactical meeting was celebration, where we acknowledge the breakthroughs people have created. And the fourth objective is creation, where we create a specific goal for every individual for the coming 14 days, so we know exactly what is expected out of every single person. Now comes the operational meeting. The goal of the operational meeting is very unique. Firstly, let's look at the frequency of the operational meeting. The operational meeting is something that you do every single day in your business. Yes, you heard it right. It's every single day in your business. And the duration of the operational meeting, don't get too scared because I'm saying every single day and most of you are imagining sitting in a boardroom every single day. No, that's not what I mean. The duration of the operational meeting is just 15 minutes. It's a 15-minute stand-up meeting. So there's one ground rule to be followed in the operational meeting. No sitting down. We create a huddle and we stand for 15 minutes, because the moment we sit down, then it goes on forever. So it's a 15-minute stand-up meeting to align the focus of every player on the team of what needs to be accomplished for that day, so that we are on track for our tactical and our strategic goals. So remember, every day, 15 minutes. Now people often ask me this question, Rajiv, do we do this meeting in the morning or do we do it in the evening? Well, my answer is, do it whenever it suits you. If you believe starting the day with the operational meeting helps, then have it in the morning and focus on the goal for the day. If you believe it works to close the day with an operational meeting, then have it in the evening and create the goals for the next day. So do whatever suits you, as long as you're doing it, that's all that matters to us. So that's how we facilitate the operational meeting. Now let's dive into the objectives of the operational meeting. So there are three objectives of the operational meeting. The first objective of the operational meeting is called completion again. Here we do the review of the previous day's outcomes in a single word answer from every team member. So every team member gives an answer of either breakdown or breakthrough based on the status of accomplishment of their previous day's goals. So the first objective is completion. The second objective of the operational meeting is creating clarity. Now the game is very simple. I want you to imagine every single day, if every single person in the business is absolutely clear about what needs to get done today, which will contribute to their goals, then that would be another level of focus and energy at the workplace. So the objective of the operation meeting is to create that clarity which gives that focus and energy to achieving the goals in the business. And the third objective of the operational meeting is collaboration. This is where we create a platform for people to ask for support and make requests to their fellow team members. So the three objectives of the operational meeting are completion, clarity, and collaboration. Now let's see how we accomplish these objectives using the 15-minute agenda framework. Here's how we get started. We start the meeting with the first 3 minutes, where in the huddle, every single person gives a one-word answer of the goals for the previous day. And the one-word answer is either breakdown or breakthrough. So if they've accomplished a particular task or goal that they created for the previous day, then the word they would say is breakthrough. And if they've not accomplished it, then the word they would use is breakdown. So we go around the huddle. In 3 minutes, we complete 20 people, if that's the maximum strength of your team, to use one-word answer to describe the status of their goals for the previous day. Breakdown or breakthrough. So that's for the first 3 minutes. Then from there, the next 10 minutes is focused on the objective of clarity. Now this is where every individual needs to share what are those top 2 or 3 tasks that they will focus on accomplishing today, which will add value to their goals. Please hear me carefully. This is where every person on the team will share what are those 2 or 3 priority tasks for the day which they will complete, which will focus on their goal accomplishment. We are not expecting people to give us an 8 hours to-do list. We are not asking people for their timesheet of what they will do in the 8 or 9 hours at the workplace. The focus is only on what are those 2 or 3 high priority tasks that will add value to the tactical goal or to the project goals of the individual. Now this in itself is a very powerful exercise, because I want you to imagine this. Each one of us have had days at our work where we've done 10-15 tasks, but still at the end of the day we feel like nothing got done. And on the other hand, each one of us have had experiences where we've done 2 or 3 important tasks and we went home that day with a smile, feeling that we've had an accomplished day. Now the difference between these two experiences is the fact that in the second experience, we are focused on what will contribute to the goal, what will take us closer to the goal. Whereas in the first experience, we're just doing work for the sake of working, but it's not really leading us towards our goals. Now by doing this 10-minute exercise where every individual shares their top 2 or 3 tasks for the day, we are pushing people to come in prepared into the meeting with a plan for the day. We are creating automatic focus towards the goal. And as a reporting manager or a business owner who is participating in this meeting, firstly, you will not do any coaching for the breakdowns when people are sharing breakdown or breakthrough. You'll just make a note of it and you'll talk to people for 5 minutes individually post the meeting and ask them what support do they need to be on track. So thereby you're playing the role of a catalyst, but no coaching in the meeting, no accountability in the meeting. Secondly, when people are sharing their goals for the day, again as a manager and as a business owner, you have the opportunity to hear whether people are focusing on tasks and activities which will help them achieve their tactical goals or not. And if you feel it will not help them achieve their tactical goals or project goals, post the meeting, again you play the role of a catalyst where individually you can engage in 2-3 minute conversations with people to check how do they intend to accomplish their tactical goals, how do they intend to accomplish their project goals by doing what they are doing for the day. Now please understand this, there is no coaching, there is no accountability. This meeting gives the manager or the business owner an observation playground to see whether people are on track or not on track, and then individually coach them and support them and mentor them. So let's look at the agenda so far. 3 minutes, 1-word answer sharing, breakdown or breakthrough. 10 minutes, top 2 or 3 focus areas which will help us achieve our tactical or project goals. That's what every individual shares, not 8-hour timesheets. So that's the next 10 minutes. Then after that, for 1 minute, we open the floor for people to make any requests for collaboration. Now, this is the time where people need to ask for support or highlight other team members and call out on them and say, hey, person A, I need your support for a particular task, I'll talk to you about it after the meeting. Or person B, we need to talk after this meeting because I need your support for something else on this project. So please note, we are only making sure that team members are making requests and saying, I need your support. We are not asking team members to explain the task to the other person in the meeting. Because if we explain the task to the other person in the meeting, we're wasting other people's time. This 1 minute is only a structured way of making sure that people are being proactive about asking support. Because there's a certain challenge in human behavior. We as human beings don't like to ask support. And most people ask support at a time when it's too late to support. So by having the 1 minute structure of making requests, we are creating a formal environment for people to make sure that they are asking for support proactively. What the support is, the details can be discussed after the meeting at a one-to-one level. So that's how we fulfill the objective of collaboration. And then finally, 1 minute, we just inspire people to stay focused and make every single day count in the business. Now I want you to understand, these 15 minutes are probably the most powerful 15 minutes of the workday, because it gives us a view of where people are by the 1-word review of breakdown or breakthrough. It gives us a view of where people are going by them sharing their 2 or 3 tasks for the day, pushes them to focus, pushes them to plan, creates energy towards their goals, and it creates a forum for people to take support and work as a team. These 15 minutes done on an everyday basis will ensure that your team is on track for achieving the tactical goals, and the once in 14-day tactical meeting will ensure that your team is on track for the strategic goals of 45 days, and the strategic meeting once in 45 days will ensure that your team is on track for achieving your annual aspiration goal. Let me tell you this. Today is the last webinar, and it's a pretty short one, but I want to leave you with a thought. I want you to really understand what you've gone through over these 12 webinars. You've learned a powerful system of creation and achievement. By using the STOP template, the strategic, tactical, operational, performance review meetings, you will become an unstoppable force. Your team will be focused on achieving those targets, will be learning their lessons on the way, will be holding each other accountable, will be giving each other feedback for competence development, and will make every single day count. There's nothing more powerful than having a team aligned to a goal. And STOP is your structure to align to the goals. I want you to understand this, that PACE system is all about implementation of STOP. While today is the last webinar, your PACE system implementation does not end. It starts now. By implementing the STOP meeting framework for the rest of the year, you're keeping yourself on track, and you are implementing the PACE system on a 45-day basis, on a on a fortnightly basis, and on a daily basis. So make sure that just because we are closing this webinar series does not mean you stop implementing PACE system. So I want you to understand this. The PACE system implementation actually starts with the STOP meeting framework. So everybody say this. STOP is PACE. Come on, everybody say this. STOP is PACE. PACE is STOP. That's what it is. If you understand the strategic, tactical, operational, performance review meeting framework, we pretty much cover all the elements of the PACE system that you've learned through these 12 webinars. So from here on, the ball is in your court. As a team, go out there and achieve your dreams. Achieve it by implementing the strategic, tactical, operational, performance review meeting system. There is no other way of achieving your aspiration goal. Let me make it absolutely clear. I want you to really understand the power of this achievement system that you've learned called STOP meeting framework. So everybody, put your hand on your heart, put your hand on your heart, and say this. I stop to accelerate performance. Come on, say it. I stop to accelerate performance. So you need to stop so that you can accelerate performance. Most businesses make the mistake of not even stopping to review. But when you stop and review, you give yourself the opportunity of redirecting yourself towards your goals. So make sure that you implement the STOP system, and make sure that you do this on the fortnightly basis, the tactical meetings for accountability, once in 45 days for strategic creation, and for daily focus and accomplishment, your daily operational meetings. Your game is going to change. Your alignment is going to increase. Second line leaders are going to get created, and you will produce results like you've never produced before. So with that, this is Rajiv Talreja signing off. Please do read the instruction email on how to facilitate the operational meeting, and please do constantly take feedback from your coach and share with them the challenges, the victories, the questions, the lessons that you're learning, and let's begin the PACE implementation with the end of this webinar. STOP is PACE, PACE is STOP. This is Rajiv Talreja signing off.